Well, today I think I'm going to get to do something that I've been wanting to do for about 4 years. I have the supplies, and I've wanted to add headlights to this bucket truck in this scene. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my supplies laid out here for me to get started. I have the truck, first of all. Bought it a couple years ago. I want to replace the headlights in here with some LED lighting. And I got from Evans Designs, I got the 3mm that already have the resistor built in line. They're already wired and they have a resistor. Now I'm using a regulated PC power supply, so I don't need the ones with the extra regulator in them. But these come pre-wired. They're 3mm. You can roll your own, but then you got to hook all this stuff up and string tube it, and I just happened to buy these several years ago, so I'm going to try them. Okay, I guess the first thing we'll do is remove the cab here from the truck. There's a screw down here, so hopefully we just take that out and the cab will come off. Cool. Set these parts aside. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is try to get this lens out of here. And if you can see, it's attached with this little melted plastic in here. So I'm going to work on trying to get this broken off. Basically cut that off if I can. And work on that in an effort to get that, see, that lens that I just popped right out of there. Okay, I'm going to do the other one. Okay, there we go. So both lenses are out. Now we can work on the holes for the lights. Okay, so the hole is not really big enough that this can fit in here completely. So I think what we want to do is, because of the thickness of it, there's some this metal part here, or this chrome part. I think we want to do is we want to cut this off here, and then it'll just expose this to push the lights through. So I'll try to take the grill off to do that. So I think it's the same concept. We need to get this cut out of here. Okay. And now what we'll do is line this up and maybe just we'll cut off this extra flash right here off of this. Okay, I find it a little easier to just score this where you're going to want to cut it. Right at the edge of this flash here. And then just turn it over and get the angle that you're going to want and cut it. Okay, so now, see, we got rid of that extra part. Now we can cut these out, drill those out. So we have our LED here, and it's not going to fit in this hole. It needs to be made bigger. And I'll have to drill it out, and a little playing around here, it seems like it fits in the 7/64. The 1/8 would be bigger, so somewhere between 7/64 and 1/8. I'll start smaller at the 7/64. I can also always ream it out a little bit. Looking up online, halfway in between there would be a number 33 drill, which I don't have, so I'll start with the 7/64 and see what happens. Let's see how that fits. Well, it really doesn't fit. So I'm going to have to go now up to a bigger drill. Okay, so that looks like it'll work pretty good. Now I'm going to try to see if my superjet is still good, and carefully glue these in here. I guess I want to get it in pretty nice, pretty straight, and hold it in there if I can. Just put some superjet on it. Some accelerant. Okay, this one seems to be holding pretty well. Let's try this one now. So they're in there pretty good. Now something I just noticed is the interior of this cab comes out of here, the seats. So you could easily put a guy sitting in here and glue him into the seat. That's real nice. And I can do that in the future. Quite frankly, there's a couple reasons I'm not going to do it right now. One is because I don't know where my little guys are. Everything's packed away. And second of all, they're working at the site, right? So there's really no reason to for a guy to be in the cab. You know, he's out, he's in the truck working, he's up on the bucket working. So I'm just going to put that back in there. I wanted to make sure it would fit, and I can bend these wires around the wheels, okay? And then the cab is back in there where it should. But that can easily be taken off later, and you can put a guy in there if you want. What I have here is some of this liquid electrical tape. I bought it a long time ago, and when you're working on household wires and things like that, you can put this on. Instead of using the black electrical tape, this is a liquid, and you can just dab it on and it makes a nice seal. I think what I'm going to do is put that on inside here because the lenses are exposed, and I think some light will bleed through. So it'll also help hold it in there. So I'm going to try to see if I can put some of this stuff. I shook it up. I'm going to try to get some of this off of here and see if I can put that on here. I think we can be pretty generous with this. And what I can do is, if it doesn't work completely, I can let it dry and then come back and put some more on. Okay, while that's drying, I think I'm going to need another coat because I can still see some light when I look up. But while that's drying, what I'll do is I'll prepare the lenses. We can put the lenses back in here, we'll glue them back in. But we got to get these little tabs off of here. So I'm going to carefully try to cut those little tabs off of there. And maybe I can do it with a pair of flush cuts without breaking anything. Yeah. Okay, so you see this little tab here? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it off and then shave it down. So I'll do that offline. Okay, I do need some more of this liquid electrical tape. So mainly on here. It's easier to build up over time because it gets a base on it, and then you can just put some more on. It'll stick to it. It's like a rubbery stuff. What we'll do is we'll try to figure out if we can put the grill back on. And I think what I'll do there is just hold it in and hit it as well with some Super Jet. Now, Jesus, I've had enough of this. You're never going to see this again. I'm going to build a little holder for this, like a little wooden thing to put this in. I've done this twice already. Look, the reason this is all off of here is because it spilled in with the glue one time, and when I wiped it, it all came off of there. I'm tired of that. I'm going to clean all this off. If I had a spade bit, 1 1/4 inch maybe, I'd have this problem solved right now, because I'd cut this down into this 2x4, and then that would sit in there and not move around. So as soon as I get a 1 1/4 inch bit, this problem is solved. Luckily I don't have to use it anymore for this project, but it ain't gonna happen again, guys. So now what I want to do, I got the grill back on. I want to see if I can fit these lenses back in here, and they're not going to fit perfectly, but they will be kind of nice. They just stand proud of the LED a little bit, but I just want to get some glue in here. But I'm kind of afraid to use the accelerant, so if I just hit a little in here. That pulled that right in there real nice. Okay, that's a nice fit. And you can't even see the glue. Yep, that'll set up nice. So what I'll do is I'll just put the cab back on here, and I'll just run these wires back over the wheels. Now this has to go in like this first. See, and I'll bring that down there. And on this side, I'll bring it down on this side of the wheel. So essentially under here, this is what we have. We'll put our little screw in there. Okay, so what I'll do is, I think what I'll do is I'll wrap these together, okay, and then just drill, wrap them together like this, back behind the wheel here, and then I'll drill a hole in the layout and run this down and hook it up, and we'll see how it looks.
Well, this turned out to be a really nice project, and I hope you learned something today. If nothing else, don't put jet set on your workbench without some type of wooden block to hold it. And I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.